Tens of thousands of new government jobs will be opening up soon. This is because the IRS is set to receive billions of dollars for hiring. Would you like one of these jobs? Let's talk about it. First, why are we funding the IRS with billions of dollars? Let's take a deeper look and find out how the IRS looks today. The IRS belongs to its parent agency, the Department of Treasury. Looking at the best places to work ranking, the IRS is at the bottom half with a score of 271 out of 432. Another thing to note is the actual size of the IRS. It has been declining for the last 10 years. And this isn't because people are getting fired. This is because you have federal employees that are switching jobs or retiring and there's no backfill. In 2010, there were over 90,000 IRS employees working in the agency. Fast forward 10 years, in 2020, there were only 66,000 IRS employees. That is about a 26% decline in IRS employees. Now, last year, they actually had a slight increase, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the IRS is saying it doesn't have enough resources to do its job, which is to extract tax revenue from its citizens. So even though the IRS supposedly is getting all of this money, we still know that the hiring process is a beast in the federal government. In 2019, the IRS had a goal, 80 days. That's how long it wanted to take from the time the job announcement was posted until somebody accepted their final offer. But what did happen? Well, the IRS saw an average of 120 days to fill their vacancies. That is over a month longer than their prior set goal. So there are talks with the IRS asking OPM for direct hire authority, which will make it easier and quicker in theory to get employees into the IRS. The hiring process starts with the Human Resource Office. That's where the money needs to go first, because that's where you generate interest. You do your recruiting, you do your screening, you do interviewing. All of those functions, they need to be more robust. The first reported amount of new employees to the IRS was 87,000, but it can't happen all at once. So what the IRS stated is the first year, they're going to do 5,000 employees. They're going to try to bring on 5,000. The next year, they'll bump it up to 8,000 or 10,000, and they'll increase year by year. This is a 10-year plan. And the IRS has been planning for months. So as soon as Congress approves this money, their plan will go into action. The new plan includes more of a presence on university campuses, more of a target on mid-career employees at corporations, your certified public accountants. Now, the government's going to have a hard time competing for this group of people because they're highly paid in the private sector. And what the IRS is thinking about doing is asking for a pay cap waiver in order to pay these people more. In case you're wondering, where did this idea come from to make the IRS more of a robust presence? Well, there's been a tax gap recently. This suggests that the IRS is collecting almost $1 trillion less every year. Okay, so let's look at some of the current opportunities in the IRS today. We can see here that there are over 200 jobs open right now. A lot of these job announcements will have the word roster in there, and that lets you know that they are collecting resumes. I would encourage you to apply to these type of positions because even though the jobs might not have been created yet, you will find that these job announcements that have the word roster, they will collect resumes for 7 or 12 months or even longer sometimes. And there'll be thousands of resumes, but later they're able to use these resumes for positions. So you wouldn't have even applied for one of these type of jobs and they'll reach out to you asking you for an interview or even extending a tentative job offer. I actually had an interview from one of these roster type positions, and what happened is I traveled to Maryland. They put us in this big conference room. There's probably about 200 or 300 job applicants, and they gave us a ticket. And they would call our number. We would go in the back. We had about 3 or 4 people ask me questions. Questions like, what are your certifications? Would you like to work at this location? Would you like to work in the DC location? Because they had different buildings in different areas. And it really didn't seem like they looked at my resume at all. But outside of that, this is a very typical government setting where they were asking you questions in a professional manner. Now, a senator of Florida wrote a letter to Americans urging them not to apply for these upcoming IRS jobs. And it was for a few reasons, mainly citing this was going to be a short-time gig, like these positions wouldn't be open for long, like a temporary position. Second thing, they thought government expansion was getting out of control. And the third thing is he felt that IRS agents would be giving too much power, too much authority. One thing is for sure, when these job announcements get posted on USA Jobs, they will have hundreds, if not thousands of people applying. Because this is your typical government job that's going to come with a lot of benefits from insurance to pension to work-life balance, and a lot of people are interested. Now, if you're watching this and you're eagerly anticipating the next pay raise that's dropping for federal government employees, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.